Hello, hello, Brendan. How's it going?
Hey, Kathy, good to be back. How are
Yeah,
you today?
to have you back. So it might be a really quiet show because I think we're not normally coming on Thursdays, and it's been a hot minute since we've been on live. So we'll see what happens, and if not, it'll just be you and me chatting for a bit and be like one of our phone calls or something.
Yeah, maybe people don't know this, but Kathy and I can easily spend a good 5, 8 hours on a phone
On the
call.
phone. So, how do you like the new apartment? This is well, anybody that comes on and eventually watches will see that Brandon's in a new spot now.
A new space. I mean, I've been in a new spot several times, I think, throughout doing the show between
Yeah,
traveling and being
Hawaii.
in other places. Yeah, it's not foreign for me to be somewhere different, to say the least, in the duration of my life. But I really like the place. I think it reflects my energy. It's like tucked away, in like this nice little natural scene, but I can still see like rolling hills, and I can see downtown, which is pretty cool. So I really love it, honestly. I really, really like it here. And my space itself, I mean, it's wonderful. I'm still curating everything. Um, I have like a separate office. It's like a study den. Um, and so that's going to be made up. So you'll see me switch scenes again
Right.
in the near future. But that will be probably the more permanent space. So, but I love
No,
it. It's exciting. I'm deeply grateful every single day I wake up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this place. It's all mine.
it's all
Such a
yours.
good feeling. It's such a good
No
feeling.
roommates, no noise, no,
There is
whatever,
still some
right?
noise. There is
Mhm.
still some noise just because, it is an apartment. But I live on the top floor, so I don't have people above me. I don't hear the trombones and the marching band practicing, at all hours of the night. So that's a definite plus. Definite plus.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta enjoy that.
Yes. How are
Right?
you doing? How are you
I
doing, Kathy?
Yeah, we're doing okay. My we had my son lost his best friend last week, so that's been a hard week, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Um, but we seem to be, all right. We seem to be all right. Like, getting we're in this place now where it's still surreal, but it's more
Hmm.
acceptable, if that makes any sense. Like it's not quite, the tragedy is still there. Actually, he found out some interesting things from school, not about the accident, but I know the first day that he went back on
Hmm.
Monday, he was a little bit in this place because when you lose somebody, it's kind of like the world is going on around you and you're stuck and you're sort of
Hmm.
stuck, like you're still in this space, but the world still goes on.
Yeah.
And he ended up finding out that, and he was sort of in this place when he had come home after Monday at school, and that had been, a week since the accident. And he was
Hmm.
like, I think everybody's forgotten, or, it just seems like everybody's going on. But it also feels like he said that, he just felt like nobody cared. And then as it turned out, he had several teachers coming up to him. He had, students and all of that, kind of, wanting to, not only send their condolences, but, things like that. So that actually turned out, I think it seemed to help, it kind of made it a little bit easier because he was sort of in this place like, did everybody forget about him or did everybody forget what happened? Like, you know,
Right.
he was still mourning, his friend, and it seemed like life was going on. But then, once people started kind of talking to him, um, it really seemed to help. So yeah,
Good.
yeah, it was good. It was really good. Um, and what else? Let's see. What else is going on? I think that's about it. The weekly readings are back, which is cool.
Yay. Happy to
Yay!
see those back up and running.
Yeah, me too. Um, And, those are, so, if who's ever watching, I'm really surprised it's so quiet tonight. So I'm kind of wondering if there's something with the settings, because normally we're not this quiet. So I think there might be, maybe there's some sort of hiccup going on.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
wonder.
I also know that I accidentally set it for like 7 o'clock, but there could, because we have several people that are using this particular platform. And so sometimes the settings get screwed up. Like we have people in Ontario that are using the StreamYard, and in
Hmm.
BC, and then Alberta. So we've got several different time zones going on. So I may have to double check that. I didn't even think about double checking it. So
That could be a thing. That could
that could
definitely be
be something as well. So we'll sort of stay on for a little bit. We'll see what happens. If people come on, great.
a
Um, and if
I know
not, we're gonna, huh?
I've gotten several messages and emails from people asking, if we're going to be on or what's going on. Um, so I know that people have been waiting. I know that they have
Yeah.
been waiting
Well,
patiently for us to
I'm
come
kind of
back.
thinking too, is worst case scenario, if it does stay quiet in the next little while, what we'll do is we'll just we will return to the Wednesday night, our Wednesday night schedules. This week, I know, like yesterday, the hard thing was, I think yesterday, I was just like, we had talked a little bit, and I was really in this place of just mental exhaustion. It's like I think you finally get to a point where um you're, because you're not only helping your son, but you've got your own, as a parent, hearing about a child being lost is,
Hmm.
not lost, but taken away that young. It
Hmm.
affects you as a parent. It
Yeah.
affects so much around you. And then it kind of comes to a point where you're just like, your brain shuts, like you
Yeah.
can't, there's nothing's clicking, you know, right? And I kind of just sat there, and I finished up some of the weekly videos last night, and I was just at this place where I was like, I can't anymore. Like my brain isn't working.
Hmm.
And so having that night off really, really made a difference. I know that somebody was asking me earlier today about some grounding techniques and
Hmm.
some things to help anxiety. And so I thought maybe we could talk about that a little bit, and then I can just direct them to this video, and that might help. And it will also help not only them, but anybody who does watch, right? I think that will make
Absolutely.
a huge difference.
Yeah.
So do you have any favorite grounding techniques?
Yeah. I mean, I do one very specific and kind of right on the nose, which is I'll do a technique, if you're aware of like the chakra system.
Mhm.
So I will do a, a visualization, and I use the breath and the visual, mind, imagination, etc. And I will bring roots out of the root chakra, appropriate, and I send those down into the earth. I send them all the way to the center of the earth. I breathe up that energy, like whatever is within the middle of the earth, whether it is magma, molten lava core, or whether it's some ancient alien civilization, who knows? We're all speculating at this point. And so I just bring in that energy up through through the earth into my body. I bring that in. And then I actually, on the inverse, what I do is I'm imagining as if like there's like I'm basically a tree and I'm kind of in the middle of it. And so I have the roots in the ground and I send my branches and leaves up past the atmosphere, like up into outer space. And so
Mhm.
I have this, and I kind of say my phrase, as above, so below, meet in the middle to be in the flow. And that one is like, it's my go-to every single time. Every single time I give readings, and when I intentionally set space to connect, that is when I will, or I'm sorry, I do that constantly to be able to ground myself. It's grounding, but it's also very opening for me. So I always like to strive and tell people, achieve balance. yes, being grounded is great, but being too grounded, right? That could make you stuck or stagnant. It could make you feel like you're not getting anywhere. So that's why I always strive to say, keep things in balance, as above, so below. But
Right.
that's like one of my favorites. You basically just turn yourself into a tree. And I love that. It's very grounding, literally, metaphorically, spiritually, even emotionally. It's quite
Yeah,
grounding. I like that.
it does. That really does help. Actually, I don't know why my it's really weird. Some of our it's almost like I'm logged out of YouTube or something like that. It's really strange here. Hang on a second. It keeps
Hmm.
coming up an error occurred as I'm trying to. So Cindy had said hi. She's actually the one that did want to learn some grounding. And so Cindy, this was for you if you're watching. I was trying to type that, but for some reason, I'm just going to see if my oh, now it's working. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. All right. So we do have a couple. Oh, I just wanted to talk about one that I actually sometimes use. So, uh, and we've talked about this one before, and it really is the bubble effect. And I really like this one because it really helps protect yourself from other people's energy, and it does give a bit of grounding. And this is where we sort of tend to form our own energy bubble. And we can start off with like sort of clapping our hands, and as we clap our hands, we pretend we feel the energy forming between our palms, and keep going, and you just kind of expand it out and expand it out, and you keep expanding until it eventually brings it to a place where it covers the head, it covers the soles of the feet, and imagine yourself truly actually in a bubble. And one of the things you can do on top of that is add Brandon's technique with the chakra system. So you have the going from the crown chakra all the way down to the chakras and the soles of the feet, and you can ground yourself, but at the same time you're bubbling. Okay. And this really seems to help, especially if you're around people that seem to have a more negative energy, or seem to be in this place of just okay, sorry, I'm just getting rid of something here. Or being in this place of uh like I said, sorry, I just got distracted with that. It was somebody giving us spiritual advice on, I don't know what the hell they're babbling about. But it's like, but it does protect you from the energy of others around you. And especially if, let's say, especially if you're in a close relationship with somebody, or they're in
Mhm.
your home, or, if you're in, let's say, in a workplace, and people are in an angry energy, right? Or if they're in a place of, you can feel that negativity that's coming off of them. And so bubbling yourself against that, it really holds in your own energy, and you're going to be the problem. There's not a problem, but the one thing about it is, you have to remember, is that you're going to be responsible for the energy within the bubble. And that's going to be
Absolutely.
really important. So if you're in a negative place, you're going to be soaking in your own crap. Really is what it comes down to, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I like the
so
bubble technique. I like that a lot. I've
I
used
I do
it.
too. Because
It
well,
it
because
works.
yeah, because it protects you, but at the same time it makes you responsible,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly.
And it brings about that, sense of, responsibility to you. So if you're going to be, just in a negative, cranky energy, um, you have to take acknowledgement of that.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to work on your own vibration. And you'll notice, because of the energy within the bubble.
Mhm. Exactly. Once you know it, when you create it and you know what it feels like normally, if something is off, you're able to
Mhm.
tell right away because you know what it's supposed to feel like.
Yes, exactly. So, somebody did ask a question here. They were saying, I think it was Pearl. She asked if these are paid readings only. So Pearl, how it works is, so this isn't our normal night. We're sort of coming on a different night. Normally we're actually, we're really busy. We've got a lot of readings to do. So normally what happens is we do have a $10 prepay or paid reading, which guarantees you a reading, especially on those busier nights. But what we also do is we also have the lottery. So this is where we take some of the people that maybe can't afford it. They just, they're taking a chance as to whether or not they will get a reading that night. And we pull numbers on them. But because it is quiet tonight, I think we can do a few of the free readings tonight. So
Yeah,
if
I
you
think we
have,
should just focus on that. If our
yeah.
regulars come in with donations, we'll just bump them up. But I
Mhm.
think we should just be here for people tonight, connect with
Yeah.
who comes through. Um,
So
and
if
just
you have a question, put it into the chat. Um,
Mhm.
Make sure that we have your name, your birth sign or your sun sign. And if you have a other person that's attached to it, please put in their name and their sun sign or their birth sign as well. All
Yeah,
right.
you don't have to put last names. You don't have to do
Mhm.
identification, but a name is important because it does carry an energy. Um, I had this coin a long time ago, and I think it was actually a verse in the Bible, or no, I might have even turned it into a necklace because it was really cool. It said, "I have called you by name, and you are mine." And it always impacted me really weird, but I understood the power of a name in all of that, and it just felt quite important. And as I grew older, I became an adult, you focused on different. Uh, Living different lifestyles, from all sorts of different people. Um,
Mhm.
it was always the name that just it carried such a different energy. So yeah, it is important with the name. Not that Kathy and I won't connect, just we don't want to spend 2 hours trying to sift around in the astral realm trying to figure out this person, which we can, but
Exactly.
unfortunately we don't have the time to do all of that.
So Pearl says her name is Simron. She's a Pisces, and his name is Gary, and he is an Aries.
Simran and Gary. Okay.
I just want to respond to Kay. So Kay, this is sort of a normal live. I mean, we're just on a different day. We're going to be coming back on Wednesday next week. So if you do want to ask a question, we will definitely take it. It's a quieter night. I don't think we're going to be here, all night or anything like that. We'll take a few questions, and we
Hmm.
just we just wanted to come back on and
Let y'all
have
know we're back.
yeah, we missed you too. We missed you guys so much too. So it's
We
good to see
really did.
everybody. Yeah.
I feel it in my heart. There's something that just it sank in like a very positive grounding way. Like something was just like,
It
we're
felt
back.
good. I
Yeah.
know. I was, sometimes like before shows, I get kind of like, I got to do a show tonight, and you're kind of, and I do that pretty much with everything. Right?
Oh, I
It's
gotta go to the grocery
I gotta go
store.
to the grocery
Oh,
store. But,
goodness.
but that, I mean, literally, it lasts in my brain for about, 2.5 minutes, right? But I was so looking forward to coming on today. So it was really good. I was excited. And oh, okay. She says she was so sad not seeing us. So that's awesome. Thank
We
you.
made it. I'm glad you're here too, love.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go back to Simran. What were you getting? Sorry,
So
Brandon.
let's see. I have to reread the question. So let's see. My name is Simran. I'm Pisces. His name is Gary. He's an Aries. Okay, may I know what will happen between me and Gary from now until the end of summer? Okay. All right, let's connect here. Simran and Gary. Okay, there's Simran. There's Gary. Okay, let me blend. So Right away, Simran, I'm feeling like there is this clear sense of companionship, a feeling of loyalty, but it feels right now that it's like clouded over. Maybe there was some kind of disagreement or a, something that was revealed that just made it seem like, oh, things are questionable. Things are like unsure right now. Um, but what I feel surrounding all of this, regardless of any haziness, of any lack of clarity, um, what spirit shows me surrounding this is quite a strong aura of positivity. And they keep giving me this impression that no matter what is going to be said or happens or feels like it's out of control, they keep saying that's very specifically out of control, out of control. They're bringing up lots of issues of control. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Um, no matter what happens, there's still this aura of positivity, and they should bring me back to that feeling of like this this almost unconscious feeling of loyalty to one another. So let me see what things are going to look like here in the next few months. Okay, so during April and May, I feel like during the rest of this month, there is this feeling of things becoming unlocked or opening. During May, I feel a little bit of a weird energy. What Spirit keeps showing me is that there has to be this redevelopment of trust in some way. It feels like it's not trust, it's just things aren't fully solid during May. It's not that there's a lack of trust. I think it's just a feeling of like, we don't know which way to like move. Where's that next solid footing? And there's a lot of question about, where that solid footing is going to be. Um, During June, I really feel this. Let me get more clarity on this feeling before I say it. So I'm getting a feeling of like longevity being focused on, which I guess makes sense because if in the month prior, during like May, if things are like a little bit rocky or unsure and not clear, without solid footing, that's where I'm being shown in June. There's like this plans of longevity in some way. So again, I don't know if this is some kind of I'm going to assume just based on the energy I feel, but you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm assuming this is a closer, more intimate connection or desire for that type of connection. What I keep feeling is during June is when there's just talks of like long term longevity, waiting out time together. So it feels like it's been a year. In a few days, it'll be a year since we have spoke. We did have a fallout last year. Okay, okay, okay. So there was a breakdown. Things are hazy. Okay. And so during April, it's like some sense of clarity is coming. May, there's a little bit of rockiness. Okay. Okay, that makes sense here. I feel like, let me just first ask energy of like reconnection and see where that comes from. And then I'm gonna let Kathy tap in and see also what she picks up. But I think the reconnection feels most important just so I can also help frame what's coming in these next few months. Because, like I was being shown, things are like ambiguous, and it makes sense now why, because you're not currently speaking together. So let's look at reconnection between you two here. So they are showing me his energy quite strong, being the initiator. So I do feel like you can either expect him um, to like message or get into contact with you in some way. But they show me strongly. They show me male's energy like riding in. He's got messages. He seems like he wants to be like almost praised or something in some way. Like he wants the accolades. He wants like the, yeah, I came and I did all this or I did that. So there's a little bit of ego there, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Ego is individuality, right? It helps protect us. But if we keep coming from that place, that's when I would say, ooh, be careful. But I do feel him kind of riding in. He needs that sense of confidence to be able to do so. So again, that makes perfect sense why there's something being unlocked between like April, May, and then things being a little bit unsure during the end of May here, and then June. really, again, that idea of longevity keeps coming up over and over. Like you're coming to an idea of planning the future, or feeling as if you're spending a lot of time, or just desiring that closeness mutually. So it feels like there is something, um, I think, closer to look forward to. I will say that. There does seem to be a closer energy or closeness coming up, but it looks like he's going to be the initiator here.
So I actually it was interesting because as Brandon's talking here, I'm actually writing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so I'm sitting here, and I kind of just wrote down some of the energy that I was feeling, or the energy that I felt in some way. So what I'm getting here is that the first energy I felt, it was really weird. One of the first energies I felt was, a sadness. Okay. I did feel this sadness, and it felt like it kind of came from the both of you though. And it feels like when you look back, there's an element of sadness coming in here. It was interesting though, because with him, Gary, I kept seeing him looking down at his feet, almost in an element of an energy of being guilty or feeling bad, like why did I do what I did, or not say what I did, or I don't know. It feels like there's an element of guilt. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it felt like when he looks back at something, there was this element of guilt for some reason. I'm also seeing you though, looking towards the future, but there was an element of hope in there. But there was also some, I want to say barriers, but these aren't really barriers. It was more like your boundaries. So it's like you can't have, like, basically your energy saying to him, you can't come to me with like, this nonsense kind of energy, or this guilt type of energy, or whatever, or okay, lying, yeah, like lying energy. That's basically it, right? Like you're basically, you have your boundaries up, like you're not, you would love to have him back, but he has to come back in the way that is actually going to be progress, not lies and bullshit and whatever the hell it is, right? Like this is how he has to come back. So as I was seeing, him, it just felt like this overwhelming guilt, this overwhelming sadness coming from his energy. And I felt like over this last little while, I feel like the first few months after you guys stopped talking, I want to say, this, when I say a few months, it could be like 6, 8 months, a while. He was sort of in this like energy of, it's almost like ego, like, hmm, hmm, I
Hmm.
like that, like,
That's what I was feeling too.
you
Yeah.
ever see that little meme of that little goat, who's kind of like, I'm right. I'm right. It's kind of like that. So he was denying a lot of that energy, but it's interesting because it feels like now it's sort of kicking in, and he's like, I don't know if he expected you to come back, or if he expected you to contact him, or whatever it was, but it feels like now he's sort of like, okay, I was a bad boy. Like I should not have done what I did. It does feel like a lot of guilt. And I keep hearing this energy of like, wanting to come together. Okay, wanting to come together. I also wrote down steps, but baby steps. Like this could be baby steps, and he may reach out. I'm going to say, Pearl, though, I don't know if you're expecting an apology, I don't know if he will come in with that. Not because he doesn't, it's not that he doesn't know that he's guilty. He does, but he may not come in with that energy right away. So don't kind of expect that.
Yeah.
Simply because he may just come in, how are you? Hey, I've been thinking about you. I would just, you know what? I would actually say don't expect an apology. And if one appears, great, but you're going to have to be in that place of deciding whether that's super important to you or not. Okay. Like if it's super important to you, I don't know if you're going to get what you want out of that. Okay. It does feel like baby steps coming through. And I also did get something about May as well. Like this could be May where, that energy starts to take place, or where he's
Mhm.
starting to take that step forward. So I hope that that helps. Um,
Hmm.
because I did really feel like I said, it was like him looking down at his feet in an element of guilt. Like he knows what he did. You know, it
I
may have
mean,
taken
usually
him
we
a
do.
while because of the
Yeah.
mm,
Mhm.
I was
Well, yeah,
raised.
when you turn your nose up, you're not looking down at what's going on with the rest of you.
Right, exactly. You're kind of like, I'm right. I'm just you know, and that ain't getting you anywhere because all you're gonna do is trip. Right?
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly.
I do feel a movement in May. I don't know if this is contact. I can't. I mean, I would love to say yes, 100% sure, but energy changes. But I keep hearing May. It could be him acknowledging stuff. It could be him contacting. I'm almost going to say it's not going to be a long time from the time that he truly starts acknowledging um that he has that also energy of I really want to contact. And there may be a few weeks in there that he has to kind of go through a cycle, but I do feel that coming through. Okay, so I truly hope that that has helped.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Pearl.
Yeah. And I know Kay had a question here.
Yeah, let's connect with Kay here.
What was it? Oh, yeah.
Wanted to know how S, as a Libra, is feeling towards me.
Right. Yes. Okay. I will.
So Virgo and Libra. S is Libra.
I'll let you go ahead. I'm
Okay,
just
let me
I'm
connect
looking.
here.
I'm scrolling here to see if what we missed here. And if it keeps get if it does if we do get busier, we may have to start putting back up on the the $10 donation, but we'll see how it goes here.
All right, Kay. So let me just make sure. So you had specifically said wanted to know how she is feeling towards you. Okay, so I'm feeling the energy between you two. Let me look at her, them specifically. Okay. So the energy between you two, this has an interesting blend. Nothing that really feels solid right now. I feel lots of airiness. I feel like things are up here, floating around, nothing on the ground, concrete, solid at this moment. I do feel still a little bit of tension. It's really interesting because it feels like as I connect with the energy between the two of you and I see it as this sort of airy thing, I'm feeling some tension in that air as if clouds are coming together. And what's so interesting is that the clouds, which is denoting a sense of moisture, which is water, which is emotion, the emotional element here, it feels as if there is some kind of emotional nature happening in the connection. And I'm feeling this tension, and it makes me feel like, I mean, quite literally, when you can feel like a storm pressure move in and there's a crack of, thunder and lightning. And I'm feeling that kind of pressure and almost like a feeling of bursting that kind of wants to happen. And what Spirit keeps showing me is that there is this really interesting dance happening with the inner childs, which I find actually quite beautiful, but also probably very confusing for you both to be experiencing because it's on this level of like being so new, still having a sense of innocence, and it not wanting to be taken advantage of. And I can feel this coming from the both of you with this awareness. And so when I'm looking specifically at S, what I keep feeling is just such a strong, predominant, just female energy, um, and her feeling as if there's some kind of changed path in the friendship or in the connection. It's like she's acknowledging some sense of change. It's like she's coming to recognition of like, oh, something might be different in some way. So, what seems maybe frustrating, since I know a little bit of this past, is that there's still this um, realization, or the space that you're kind of being held is still friendly, but there is an acknowledgement at this moment of some kind of shift or change in that direction. And I do feel that it is influenced by all of this energy buzzing in the air between the two of you. Um, and it's just causing a lot of tension. I would go so far to say that there's probably some very intense tension around the two of you when you're around one another. It's like you can feel it in the air, you can cut it with a knife, so the saying is. And it's just like you feel, I even feel pressure in the chest. I feel like some like quick, like light breathing in the top, like in the top chest, which shows me a little bit of anxious feelings, um, care, caring about what the other person is thinking, saying, feeling, or doing. A lot of just genuine tension. I think it is because something is building up between the both of you, and there needs to be a sense of release or exploration in some way. Um, and by release, that could be so many different things there. But I do know that there is this consideration of you being such a predominant email energy in her life. I also feel so, as I just connected with that as well. The last thing that I'll say here is that I have a I have this feeling of her being a little bit unsure or afraid of you kind of disappearing. I'm not sure what that pertains to. I don't know if it's something that you've given her an impression of, or if she's just kind of made that on her own. Um, but I can feel her fearing this, like, ooh, like, of course I'm going to open up to her and she's just going to disappear in some way or something like that. So I know that that's also a consideration here. So
Mhm.
definitely still a bit touchy right now, nothing too defined, and you're still very much up in the air with everything. Go ahead, Kathy.
Sorry, I was just answering everybody. Um, yeah. So what I felt, it was interesting actually. I wasn't really sorry, Brandon. I wasn't really listening to what you were saying because I was busy typing. So, um, I keep getting this energy from her towards you. It's almost like a shy, weird shy. This could be her energy. She may not be actually shy to you, but it's almost like somebody kind of looking up, like, "Hey, are you still there? Are you still interested? Are you still like it's like that sort of energy where somebody is wanting to be noticed, but at the same degree, she's hesitant. There's that hesitation or that little bit of fear about, it's almost like it's like she wants you to come to her, but at the same degree, I don't know how she would really react when you do. It's almost like I want it like a bunny, or a deer, like kind of, come to me, but I might go over here if you come to me. So it's like this and then this. So I would still say, allow her as much as possible, to come to you, or, it doesn't mean not be friendly or not be, anything like that. It's basically just I still wouldn't push this because there is a little bit of a scared rabbit energy in there, that she's presenting at this moment. I do feel that she seems a little bit more open though. I'm not going to lie. I do feel her being a little bit more open towards this or whatever is going on, or like this relationship, or, there's still some fear. There's still some hesitancy. I'm not going to say that that's not there. Um, well, she's afraid of you leaving because of the fact that this she may have lost a chance. That's exactly, what I'm feeling. But at the same degree, there is a bit of that energy. It's like, okay, well, if she goes and I've lost a chance, what does that mean? Should I like, does it mean that, maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe I should pursue it? Like, there's a lot of confusion that I feel within her right now. Um, so yeah, and that's good. She just said she has a boyfriend, so I'm not doing a thing. Definitely don't. I do feel that if she wants to present something, um, she has to find that courage within herself to do it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not going, especially in this type of relationship, because she is, well, let's just honestly say she's straight. So this is a difficult thing for her, or that's how she's perceived herself all her life. So to even venture into that other step, that takes a lot. And it's not something that is all that easy to do, especially when she has the boyfriend. She's been known, with this guy, or it would be a shock to her system, really, but a shock to everybody else too. So there's a lot of things that she has to go through, assimilate, like all of this. Does she want you to leave? No, because she doesn't want to miss this possibility or this chance.
Yeah.
But at the same degree, she's going to have to be the one that finds the strength to come through, or the courage, or to really go into herself to see if this is something that she wants to pursue. Right. So,
I don't think she'll be mad if she sees you with somebody else. I think that will definitely be an ego response. That ego will definitely have anger. But more importantly, I think it's going to spark something in her. Remember, I was talking about a feeling of release? That feels like this sort of trigger to move that release to kind of happen. Um, but I feel like it's going to spark or ignite something in her. Yes, of course, there might be a little bit of anger or upset about that. But what she'll realize is she has no right to be. She has no right to be angry or upset with you. Nothing that's warranted, at least. She has every right to feel how she does, right? But um, if she does try to lash out or anything like that, which I don't feel her doing, there might be like a little bit of weird energy, her being like cold or distant, but it's her coming to realize, oh my gosh, like if I don't act on this, people are that she's just going to move on and move forward, which is absolutely normal and what you would expect. So I do feel like that could be a good spark for her to see um, that she's got to do something right. Like you said, can't wait forever. And there's no point to sit around and wait for somebody, that's not giving you anything.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so next is going
You're
to be
welcome, love. Good to see you again, Kay.
really good to see you, and we're so glad we're back.
Yeah, everybody's flowing in.
um, so the next is Christina and Ivan. They just got back together, I believe she said. And her question was, what do we see happening over the next few months between the two of them? Um,
Okay.
did I citate Ivan is a Taurus and Christina is a Virgo?
Christina, Virgo, Ivan, Taurus. Okay. And significant changes coming in the next 3 months. Okay. Okay, let me just connect to both of y'all's energy here. Oh, there's Christina. Ooh, there's a very specific scent I can feel associated with your energy. It's sweet. It's got a floral, fruity scent to it. It has a very high pitch almost. I can feel it hitting third eye, and spirit just keeps saying, like, ooh, Christina's third eye is wide open. She has like an eye for art and beauty. And there's just a scent associated with it. I can just smell it so predominantly. Did you ever wear that love potion? I think it's a scent or a lotion or something like that. But it even feels more perfumey than that. Regardless, irrelevant. I'm so sorry. It just felt it right away on your energy here. Um, all right, let's connect with Ivan as well. Okay. taking a minute to pull Ivan's energy because there's something quite unshakable about him, which is interesting. Of course, yes, being a Taurus, that makes sense. But even more so, there's something like, he really has to be inspired. Okay, this is what Spirit is saying. He has to really be inspired to act, inspired to action in some way. And I keep feeling there is this strong feeling of inspiration between you and Ivan. In fact, I'm feeling a lot of psychic connection, and maybe that's why Spirit was bringing me right to third eye when I connected with you. I feel a lot of psychic energy between you and Ivan. It feels sometimes very intense. Um, I feel like you two have really tried to ground this energy a lot. But what I'm also being shown is that this has been the cause of like some haze between the two of you. It feels like the physical or 3D matters, if you understand that reference here, are it's like they get muddied up because of the intense connection going on in like the astral, in the psychic plane between the both of you. So I feel often you have to kind of work your way through these confusions. And it's interesting because Spirit is showing me that before it was like the physical was easy, but this other stuff, this psychic, this high energy level was difficult. And so now it seems switched in some way. Um, let's see what these next 3 months are going to bring, because that's what the energy was right now. Okay, so May, ooh, during May, I am feeling a very, it is like this new level of intimacy, intimate connection opening up between the both of you. Um, this feels quite intense, and it feels like an integration of actually all those opposing energies that I was talking about here. Um, it feels like during that time, you'll probably be vulnerable with each other. There could be some fears coming up because when I'm looking into June, I am being shown a sense of transformation. Um, and then moving into July, I'm feeling like this period where it feels like something is like needing to last. Again, this is so interesting. I'm feeling this again, this sort of lasting, resting energy. So it gives me the impression of during July, things need to be even keel and they need to rest wherever they are. However, whatever level you're at, whatever's going on, things just need that time and moment to just rest and to be, because after all of this, when I just ask about your relationship here in general, Spirit does show me that there are changes that are integrated between the both of you that allow for a more harmonious connection. So it looks like there's some pretty deep and intimate things coming up. But remember, it's got to kind of have a balance. There's a flow to it because you're kind of going into different realms as you connect even. So it's important not to overcomplicate it, to be very, very present in the moment and not get caught up with either of you. All right, one of you is doing this. I see it so clear. It's like I can just, it hit me like a bus. Somebody is focusing on living out a potential reality other than focusing on what's happening right here. It's like, oh, we can do all these great things and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they got smacked with reality. So I feel an integration of all of these different learning lessons almost coming together during these next few months, which involves a little bit of that roller coaster, but that integration, all of this, to sum up here, is leading into a stronger sense of harmony and the connection between you both beyond just these 3 months here. So very interesting connection, Christina, and a lot going on. And I'm feeling your energy. I want to just commend you for doing your best to really try to be um, present and learn what you feel like you're supposed to learn while still feeling thrown around by the roller coaster of the emotions that just keep coming at you. So, yeah, I think there's definitely some things to look forward to. Deep and loving. Oh yeah, yeah. He's supposed to move here in May. Okay, so that makes sense why I saw that sort of um, closer sense of intimacy, right? And then the things that are changing over time. So yeah, I do feel that that is likely. I'll let Kathy connect. Hi, Firefly. Hey, Will. Hey, Jenny. Hey, everybody.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right. Okay, so Christina and Ivan. Just give me a second to tap in because I was busy typing there. um wow, I really like the energy between the two of you. There is a lot of I'm gonna say there's some mirroring going on, hun. So when you're in a place of anxiousness or whatever it is, I do feel an energy from him that kind of may mirror that energy in some way. And I think that I heard you guys talking about like the 5D realm, the 3D realm here. And I do feel that sometimes that energy can get a little bit mucked up here. So I feel like when you think of him, or when you're in a place of anxiousness, or when you're in a place of worry, try to do as much releasing in regards to this as possible, because this will help clear up the energy between the two of you. It will help, stabilize is what I want to say. Stabilize the energy is going to help. And so when you're in this place where you're starting to feel like, oh God, I don't know if this is going to work, blah, 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 da, 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 whatever it is that's running through your head, try to stabilize that, and put it into that knowledge and that unconditional love that I really feel this is quite quite strong between the two of you. I actually I know you had asked about moving. Is he going to be moving? I do feel this moving happening. And I kept getting also this sort of energy of him wanting to impress you, or it was sort of like maybe he feels to some degree you're a little higher than him in some way, so it's like he wants to come to your level is what I also got. Doing a meditation before bed does help. And, even doing that may have sort of brought this energy back into your life because of the fact that, it was like you were clearing things out. So I feel as long as you guys stay on the path that I almost want to say that you're manifesting, continue manifesting, this beautiful relationship with him. Because I do feel that this could turn into very much a long-term relationship, or a very solid and stable relationship. It is going to be important though, like I said, to, watch the mirroring effect. Okay. And so when he's, starting to, like, if you're feeling a little jiggy, in regards to this or whatever, having yourself go into a place of stabilization is really going to help, because you may see him really, especially, I really feel you're more the leader, I guess is the best way to put it. He's kind of a follower within this situation, especially in the 5D realm. So if your energy is all over the place, it's almost like he doesn't really know exactly where it's coming from, but he feels it, and he may not have the ability to stabilize himself. So I feel like when you're feeling off, work on that meditation, work on that higher level stuff. And it kind of I just feel like him feeling calm. Oh, okay. I actually feel calm about this. I can move forward. Will he show up or surprise? Honestly, that I honestly don't know. I don't feel really that he'll just show up and surprise. I kind of feel that there will be a heads up on this in some way. He may not message before he leaves. He actually may message like from the road or when he's on his way to you. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like there is some nerves going on here where it's like I just have to message from the road, because if I was to stay at home or stay where I am and message from there, I might not make that move, because what if she tells me no, or something like that. Like, it almost feels like he has to be on the road or something. That's just the energy that's coming through, but I don't know exactly how I don't know exactly how strong that is, but that's just the energy that's coming through. So you guys, we're just going to take a little bit of a break here, just for a couple of minutes. I hope that that helped, Christina, because I really do feel like, again, as long as you guys stay within, don't panic, don't, there's no need to overreact with this. It literally is as though you guys are almost sharing, we hear about the twin flame, the sharing of the soul. You guys are sharing this very strong connection with each other. So you don't want to
Mhm.
get into this place of worry and fear and all over the place and, freaking out or anything like that. And I don't feel that that's your energy anyway. I feel that you're a very stable energy. So continue that. And I feel like this is going to, progress. We're just going to take a quick break. It'll just be like 3 minutes. We'll come right back and yeah, we'll continue from there. And next up is going to be Jenny. So, and then it will be Will and then Presh. So we'll be right back, guys. Hey, we're back. We're back. We're back. Okay, so I'm just going to address some of the things that are on here. Blue Butterfly, can you please? We need your names. Yeah, we need your names. You already have your birth dates down there, so we won't forget about you. But we do need your names, please. Okay.
Hey, Shappy. Good to see you, love. Just so everybody knows, we're not going to be able to get to probably everybody's
Yeah,
question.
we're only going to
Um,
go until about 8 o'clock, so we'll do what we can.
and come back next week. This is just a sort of reintegrating show, trying to read for as many as we can without doing all of our other usuals here. So we're just kind of flowing with what we've got right now. So we can give you, well, for me, I know I need to be fully set up in the office.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for. I can have both computers, the stream separate, and all that fun stuff. All right. So you said Jenny is up next.
Yeah. Yes. And Jenny wants to know about their finances for the next 6 months or so. They did not do the move that they had planned. So she's going to she would like to know kind of what's coming up in the next 6 months or so, or what you feel with their finances.
All right, Jenny. Hi, love. So right away, I just want to address here this clear feeling of a mountain being placed in front of you. I do feel like there is a culprit and a scapegoat, definitely feeling a male energy here. I feel like you know exactly what I'm talking about. The male energy has caused confusion, lack of clarity, etc. So it feels like that's kind of taking over your energy at this time. So let me look at where you should be focusing on right now, and then I'll ask about the finances here because I can just feel, yeah, the finances are important, but I just feel other pressing energy that I want to connect with. Okay. Somewhere along the line, there has been a transformation, and one that has not been working in your favor. What started, okay, this is like channeling through me. This is weird. What started as a labor of love has turned into defeat and loss. Um, and this is where spirit is showing me that you do need to be focusing on right now because everything that is happening outside of you that seemingly seems like it's out of your control, which I mean, in all reality, it sort of is. But that's the thing about literally working with the human consciousness and human existence, which is that, our world, our inner world reflects what goes on outside. And this is exactly what spirit is showing me, that there has to be a literal change of heart happening where you've got to dig in and reignite that sort of that feeling of love and passion and what you're being drawn to, what you're being literally elated, inspired, fired up by. And that feeling seems to be extinguished right now. Again, it's like that mountain was placed in your path and a feeling of defeat. But there's two things you can do. You're on your path, on your path, on your path, boom, mountain. You have two things. One, you can sit there, look at it, turn around and go back. Or you can put on your climbing shoes, find a good stick, and start hiking up that mountain because you already know, oh my gosh, my passion is what is going to carry me over this mountain. And that's the energy that's missing right now. So this is what spirit is showing me, is to be focused on, to be reignited. Once that happens, then all of a sudden you're going to start to see all of those pieces start flowing back to you. Oh, shoot, look, I just got more finances over here. Oh, look, somebody came in with this connection over here with this other job and this other place and these other things. Oh, wow, things are moving easy. this is a very good lesson in remembering that everything that happens on the outside is an internal reflection of what's going on within your own self. Um, Let me ask specifically about finances, and I'll let Kathy connect here.
Okay, so
Hang on one sec, Kathy.
yeah,
Hang
go
on.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Of course. I
Um,
thought you were waiting for me, so I was like, okay.
no, I just wanted to connect here with this finance
Mhm.
specifically for Jenny. So again, just as I was stating, and I'm being confirmed of this here, so this is actually a pretty good channel. Um, they're showing me that it's like you're going to be in this state of things being unknown, unsure, and then all of a sudden it's like just bounty, like you're in the garden, you're in the space of bountiful energy, and things do start to flow. It feels like this is all dependent on you and your shift. So this could be tomorrow, or this could be 2 months from now. This really is dependent on you. And the difficult part with this, and I will definitely give you credit for this, is that you have other people's energy depending on you, and so there will have to be a little bit of a spillover with this fired up energy in you spilling over to the others that are dependent on you. But again, it's going to start internally in you first in that process. So um, I do feel like by the end of May is when you're going to see like an upswing in finances. It feels like a clear distinction, a clear improvement from right now. Um, During that time period, the end of May, it seems like it'll be pretty clear, obvious that there's an upswing here. So, all dependent on you, though. You can, again, you can make this happen next week if you wanted to. You just got to start. Honestly, use the full moon that's coming up, 16th, I think. Use the full moon to do some releasing and be like, okay, I let go of the feelings that no longer serve my path, my purpose, and my goals here, where I'm trying to go. I release what is not helping me in this area. So be sure to focus on that. I think you're definitely going to see those shifts.
Hmm.
Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
Okay, so I do feel like a little bit of guess the best way to describe it is a little bit of chaotic disappointment energy. Okay. It does feel like obviously, there was disappointment with this move. But I keep getting this imagery for some reason that it's like maybe where it's supposed to go right now. I feel like also maybe not give up on that energy of going, but it did feel like if you had gone, it does feel as though there's an energy here that things may have been complete chaos while you were there. And I am getting that not only because of not being able to find some place to live, but it's like Brandon had said, it's like something shifted. Something shifted. And I kind of feel like there was a protection going on in regards to that. And I don't know exactly what that is. Um, because sometimes we're prevented from moving forward for a particular reason. So I do get that, a lot of that energy. Now as far as finances going, I do feel I keep seeing like an increase somehow in regards to finance. I'm actually literally being shown like the color green here, and I'm it's really weird. Like I'm looking at my screen and things just kind of go green, and for me, that's telling me obviously an increase in finances in some way. I don't know where it's coming in from, but it feels like there's a stabilization within the financial future. I don't know if it's going to happen immediately, but I do feel it's going to happen. I do agree with what Brandon had said, though, in regards to kind of it depending on you. Like you have to be in that right frame of mind. You have to be in that place of manifestation. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, there's when I'm looking at this energy of you guys moving, it's almost like there's a wall there all of a sudden of like again preventing you from going for some reason. I don't know what that reason was. Like it's not showing me, but it almost feels like you had to stabilize where you are or increase something, as to where you are. This could have to do with, maybe it was a matter of, having the exact place of where it is that you wanted to stay. It almost feels, I'm going to tell you something. It almost feels as though there was a little bit of hesitation coming from. So sometimes our subconscious can really indicate or really help, do a lot of our manifestation for us, right? So if we're in the place of our subconscious where we're nervous, we're scared, we're unsure of things can happen, our subconscious in itself can sort of prevent us, from something happening, right? It's
Mhm.
sort of like, what you're thinking about manifests. Even if you're not consciously thinking about it, you have that fear going on in the back of your mind about whatever it is. And it feels sort of like that. So, what I keep feeling though, what did you say about going uphill on the mountain? Because I just feel like an increase of finances. I almost want to kind of go like that, like money, like money is coming. I don't, again, know how or where, but it feels like a stronger stabilization within the energy of finances is what I keep getting.
Yeah, I do see that as well. The mountain, more so when I was connecting with her, it was help to it was helping to understand like, oh, all of a sudden an obstacle has kind of come up. And it's like, okay, are we going to continue with our path or are we going to go backwards? And the point being is that there does need to be some tenacity, passion, fuel reignited. Because I kept being pulled right to heart center, and the heart center feeling as if it went through a loss and defeat, and that's the area that needs transformation. And once that literally feels its own sense of abundance, I mean, I can't tell you how incredible it is. I know we've all tasted this feeling at some point, and it can be very hard to anchor in on a daily basis. But when we are in a state of like abundance, bounty, um, it really is unparalleled because nothing is less than. And what I mean by that is like anything that you receive is always bountiful and you're grateful. And then all of a sudden it's just like more and more keeps coming to you. So when you're grateful for that little penny you find on the ground, that amplifies itself because all spirit, all universe is seeing is like, oh look, they're in gratitude for receiving money. Let's bring more. Let's do more of that. Yeah, the whole idea of, finding lucky pennies on the ground when you're like, "Oh my gosh. Oh, I found the lucky penny." Your energy amplifies because 'cause you're, like, excited, you're in gratitude, um, and so really, I know that this is a definite need of changing of energy at this time, and
Mhm.
then it's like because I can feel it, it feels like things want to flow in, but you have to change your state of being in order to match its frequency, and please don't feel bad at all, Jenny, when things don't work out, when things seem difficult or confusing, it's completely natural to just be like, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should be doing something else. Like, please don't feel bad and questioning yourself or feeling as if you did something wrong. Trust that this is happening here for a reason. Because I think, when Kathy and I have connected with you moving before, it was such a clear energy that we had both felt of things being in some way elevated or on a higher frequency. And I think it's just I think it's the universe saying, okay, you guys have to be on that frequency before we can bring you there. That way, you don't have to do any backtracking, that you can just keep sailing and moving forward. Because I remember the vision that I connected with when we had originally talked about you moving and just how freeing it was, how um, opening it will be for the both of you, but to use the move as the invitation to be in that state is the wrong approach. You have to be in that state before the move because it needs to carry with you. Otherwise, you're just going to have to go right backwards and deal with this again. So don't expect the move to bring you what you want. Be what you want now so that way the move complements what's already there. I just wanted to add all that. I feel like I'm channeling with Jenny right now. It's so interesting.
So we are getting quite a lot of questions coming through here, guys. And we do have some donations coming through. So we're going to address those first, as we do on the channel. If you do want to make sure that your question gets responded to, you can donate to crogers@gmail.com. This is through PayPal or through, but we are going to get, to as many as we possibly can today. We just cannot guarantee that. And please make sure that you write the question in down below, include names, birthday, and what it is that you want to know, because we're pretty busy. We're getting busier now. So Kay is asking, I start a new job tomorrow. I'm super nervous. It's building pole barns. Where's the opportunity going to take me, and will I love it inside and out? I feel a really good thing with this. I don't know.
Well, if you feel something, go right ahead with that feeling while I connect here.
What are pole barns?
I honestly do not know.
Well, maybe you could tell me what pole barns are, Kay, because I'm not 100% sure what those are. But it feels like a needed change. I will say this right off the bat. It feels like a needed change. It feels like this is something that I don't know if it's more money or not, but I do feel, oh, they are barn kits. Oh, okay. I feel like there's going to be more opportunity in here that could be, coming into like management, supervisory, maybe even perhaps sales of some sort. But I feel like an increase of finances in some way, again, coming towards you. It feels like this was a definite needed change, because it almost feels as though there was such a stagnancy, to some degree of where you were, is what it feels like. And it feels like you're going to, I could literally see you in sales for some reason. I don't know why that came
That's so
through.
interesting you say that, because that's what I keep feeling too. It's like I see this entry
Like sales
level.
with commission, where
Yes, yes.
where you could end up making, I don't know if how they pay or anything like that, but it almost feels like you could be, making sales with commission, which right there is, such a bonus, right? Especially if they're, depending on your commission and stuff, but that's what it feels like to me. But I mean, it may not happen immediately, but I do feel that you're not going to hate this. Like, I feel like you're going to really like this. And again, it does feel like a change that was needed to happen. I don't know if this is going to be more money for you, or if there is, like, I don't know if it pays more or something, but you'll do fine your first
9
day.
hours, woof. See,
Get some
it's funny
rest,
because
girl.
I felt on your first day, I felt like your reaction is like, "I couldn't be further away from this place." Like, as soon as you get home or as soon as you leave, I could feel you just being like, "Oh my gosh, I just need to get away." Like, "Oh, this is a lot." I feel you being a little bit uncertain, but I wanna say that, I'm following up here with also or resounding what Kathy was saying is that I think you're gonna end up really liking this. But what I want you to first be just careful with your body physically. But what I keep
Yeah.
being shown is that there is a there's a moment where I don't know if it's you or somebody else who like there's an approach of like, oh, I'm not being utilized or utilizing you to your full potential. And this is where I feel that energy of sales come in. It's like you kind of start out entry level in some way, and then either through conversation or it's really a spirit keeps showing me it's a problem solving thing that other people see in you that shows them, oh, she needs to be over here. And this is where I feel that boost and the opportunity to kind of grow. within that company or whomever it is. Like you're put in a different position or the opportunity for a different position. You're saying that my first day, I'm not going to want to go back. On your first day, I feel you being quite drained. Like I feel you being
Yeah, it's
drained.
gonna be way
I
more
feel
activity
you.
than you're used to, I think.
I think it could be, but I just feel you feeling like, oh my gosh, like it's just a reflection of like, oh, what did I get myself into? It's not necessarily negative. It's just like a overwhelming thing, I think, at first, but it's I think going to serve you well in the long run. Don't take that and harp on um, that idea or that feeling because we all get it. Like just like what Kathy and I were talking about, even with the radio show. At the end of it, we're just like, oh my God, don't show me another screen for like another 24 hours. When we've been on for 3, 4 hours just sitting here, we're like drained. That does not mean we don't want to come back. It just means like, okay, need a break. Definitely need a break. And I feel you kind of getting into that space as well. So um, don't don't harp on it. There's nothing to be too worried about. But just know um, if you see something and you have a very clear insight or answer, please speak up. Please speak up because you are going to be noticed and there's going to be people who are like, "Oh, she's really good at this. We need to bring her over here." I keep seeing that dynamic. So, I think it will serve you well. But just know you're putting in the beginning stages of the work, and if you stick with it, I do feel opportunity for growth there. So, good luck tomorrow. Good
Mhm.
luck on your
Let us
first
know how it
day.
goes next week. I really feel like it's gonna be good for you, to be honest. I just
Yeah.
I mean, you might be at the end of the day for sure tired because it's a change. Um, you know, but ultimately, I think it's going to head in the right direction.
Mhm. It's all in
All
what
right.
you make it, right?
So again, we're going to be going into the donations. So, if you want to guarantee a reading, please make sure you donate. We will try to get to the ones that, for that came in earlier. But all right, I can't talk anymore. Um, so Miguel just wants a general reading.
General Miguel. All right, Miguel, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so Miguel, I keep feeling eh, this is interesting. I feel like it's not neglect, but I do feel this little bit of a distance, um, either with your own spirit or soul or connection. Um, Something happening with like distance, not feeling super close. I'm also feeling a female energy here all at once as well. Okay, so there's two, it's like one of two things, and I can't quite pinpoint this. It's either there's a distant feeling with your own sense of spirituality, and it's because someone, feminine person in your life, is doing all of that work or doing it for you, or it's that distance with that female um, in your life as well. Either way, it all points to the honestly to like the same solution or the same idea, point of focus where you need to be. It's so interesting because the way spirit shows it to me, they keep saying, "Get lost in the clouds," and maybe this is a note on uh, not having to be so practical all the time. Um, Remember, not everything is in our control here. It's just so interesting how spirit keeps saying, literally, like, let your heads get lost in the clouds. Let them get lost in the clouds once in a while. And they, for whatever reason, are highlighting the fact of communicating from that space. I don't know if it's going to be much more relatable. I don't know if it's going to be like something insightful that comes out, but it feels important in some way to communicate from that space. So I think really allow yourself to get into a space where you don't have to feel as if everything is, pressure on you, or you have to control or take care of, and just allow your sense a little bit of freedom, something that really allows you to float a little bit and to get into that more creative, imaginative headspace specifically. It's bringing the mind up there, because I mean, let's be honest, you're not detached or disconnected from your soul here, but focusing on the practical, mundane things without that extra awareness of the above, that's where things can be either missing, not as cohesive, brought together, etc. Um, so yeah, it's a really interesting space. But other than that, I mean, you feel to be in such a nice place. That's the only thing that Spirit is showing me of what's needed to focus on right now.
I just want to address something. So we do have, some people coming in from Facebook. Remember that we can't, Brandon can't see you on Facebook. I do, but you do need to be a subscriber to the YouTube channel in order to receive a reading. We aren't able to do any more readings tonight. Like, we already got a list full of them that are going to keep us busy tonight. But please make sure that you subscribe to the Oracle Intuitions YouTube channel, so that you'll get the notification when we do go live next week. Okay, we are going to be here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. So make sure that you go over to YouTube, click the subscribe button, and then this way you'll be we'll be here for next week. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to shut up. You can finish for me.
We'll be here next week. Today's show
We'll be here
is impromptu and a refresher, and we're just figuring it out as we go along with y'all. So
Yeah. Miguel, are you been making some plans? It feels like planning. There's some planning that's going on. I do feel a little bit of I'm going to agree, with some of what Brandon had said. It does feel like there's a little bit of spiritual element that's been kicked out of the way a bit. Um, but I do feel it's almost as though you're making plans or you have plans. But I feel like you're putting more material resources rather than spiritual resources. I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you. It's almost as though in the plans of what it is that you're doing or creating, and this even could be thinking about your own business or whatever. It feels as though you're getting stuck somewhere in regards to that location, finances. It's like earth energy. Okay. I guess is the best way to describe it. What I feel is that you need to tap into the spiritual energy of this. Does that make any sense to you? Are they still here? Can they see us?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. um, so I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I think that it may. It just feels like you're wrapping your head more around the earth things than you are around the spiritual thing. But you've been really, really guided by spirit over the last, year or so. And I feel like you're kind of letting that go to some degree. It's like you're trying to tap in, or maybe you have the intentions of, but you're getting caught up in um the the earthbound things that are going on. Um, hmm. Okay, I literally am hearing from spirit. So if you wanted a message from spirit, here it's coming in, hun. I feel like spirit is saying to you, let us guide you. and you're kind of fighting against spirit in some way, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's not that you're, arguing with spirit or putting a block up, but again, I just keep getting this grounded energy, and I feel like spirit is literally standing beside you, kind of going, hello, here we are. We're right beside you. What are you doing? And you're kind of, it's like here, but you're focusing in on here, and you're starting to really focus in on the material things. So I feel like things are coming along for you, or they will start coming along. As you know what, I feel a lot of tension in your shoulders too. Like, holy crap,
Mhm.
doodle.
Yeah, I
Feel
feel it in the neck
really
and
like
the shoulder.
neck and the shoulders, right? It's almost like you're, and I feel like you need to no, Willie will still, or we'll still get to you. Don't worry. We will do a couple of those. Don't worry. We will get to a few of you here. But I do feel like you need to relax. You need to relax. You need to listen. You need to open up. You need to get out of your head and get into that crown chakra. Maybe it's time to actually start doing, and it's funny because you're a massage therapist, so you know that tension isn't helping you right now, but there's a lot of tension that's going on in there. So I kind of feel like maybe there needs to be a chakra balancing going on within yourself, like aligning your own chakra. You know what? And here's the interesting thing. I bet Naomi can do it for you, or you might even be able to do it on your own, like align your
Mhm.
chakras. And because it feels like you're sort of out of whack a bit. Okay. And that's what I keep getting as well. And because of that being a little bit out of whack, it's kind of like a spine that's out of whack. You get that pain. I feel like some of that neck and shoulder pain is coming because of the fact that you're not really listening to spirit or the messages that are coming in some way. So I hope that helps.
I feel like this
Um,
is something that I was not fully aware of, which makes
what?
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So
Okay. Have they commented? I can't see any of their, or did they not?
I
No.
haven't seen anything.
No, I don't think so. So maybe they're usually they comment by now, so that's why I'm kind of like, can you guys even see me? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So Naomi is asking, she keeps seeing repeated numbers still. Is there a message from spirit? Let me just double check here. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Where are you? There she is. I'm still getting a lot of repeated numbers consistently. Do my guides have messages, or am I leveling up?
So maybe right away, yes, these repeated numbers are definitely their communication. Something's going on from spirit, from source, from God's here. That oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Their signal is bad. They don't have internet yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I was kind of
They're
like,
probably having to buffer or something.
right.
Um, so they definitely are communications from guides from the other realm here. Um, it's interesting. I'm not being shown. So this is. I'm not being shown specifically what they're trying to communicate for you because they're saying it's not for me. What they are showing me is that they just keep pulling me to a masculine male energy here and like some confusion or questions surrounding it. Oh, oh, okay. Well, I'm not surprised here. So when I'm reading for you, Miguel's energy is coming in. When I'm reading for Miguel, your energy is coming in. You're getting a lot of these signals from Miguel and Miguel's guides. And remember how Kathy had said, it's like the guides are standing there, like saying, hey, hello. You're in. you're intercepting these signals because they're trying to get your attention. I explained it recently, and I loved the way that this came out. Energy from spirit, from source, from guides is like water, like a river. And that water is going to flow to the closest source, that's open or available. And so if somebody has like a blocked off wall or a dam or something, um, that the water is going to go to the next available source. And so there you are, your energy is open, you're receiving these energies. So if you've been seeing these numbers and you're not feeling immediately right away what they relate to, that's because they're not,
For her.
it's kind of you by proxy, not necessarily for you. And so now this makes sense why I was feeling this strong feminine presence within Miguel of like opening up. I think y'all need a very how do I say this on air, which is also respectful? You need to see God. Let's just put it that way. But seriously, though, I mean, there needs to be this really nice, vulnerable, intimate opening. I feel within the both of you where you can share energy back and forth. Maybe you're a little bit more grounded, but you open up Miguel. Miguel, you open up, but you allow grounding to happen. There's just this integration here that I feel needs to happen. We're about to hit a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do something wild. Do something wild and um, just really embrace that energy. What is it? I think it's like the pink moon or something like that. Pink is such a raw, vulnerable energy. Inside of us, we're like all pink, basically. Um, eh, just kind of think of that in terms of things like that inside. Um, Wild, full moon, exchange of energies here. Really try to do an exchange between the both of you because connecting really feels like it's going to kind of balance everything out individually, but then also together as well. Good synchronicity with you guys. That's why I love reading for the both of you usually because there's always some kind of synchronicity here. But let's see what Kathy has to say.
Okay, I'm just going to address somebody on here. So Tia, our reading list is closed for tonight. We actually have quite a few that are still that we're going to try to get to here. But please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Oracle Intuitions, all right? And make sure you click subscribe. And then this way, next week, when we come back next Wednesday, we will be opening up the reading list again, and we'll be taking more readings then. And if you click the notification bell, you'll get the notification as to when we go live. So, Naomi, yeah, I do agree a lot with what Brandon was saying. It's almost like, a spirit, as they were saying, like spirit is sort of using you as this proxy. But here's the interesting part. So when you ask about leveling up, that's exactly what's happening though, because you're able to now start giving those messages to others. You're able to give them to Miguel. You're able to, but I think it's a matter of just recognition. Okay. Like recognizing the messages that are coming through and looking at them and going, okay, is this me? Nope. Okay. It's for you. And
Once that's
so,
established, it's so much easier to get the
right.
message, though.
Right. And it may just be starting with Miguel, but that's just the start of with Miguel, okay? Because here's the thing, you're already receiving messages for others, around you, especially with your Etsy shop, and things like that. But here's the interesting thing is that the messages are going to be starting to come in quicker, but they're also going to be starting to come in more so without even having to use the tarot or something like that. It's like you're going to be able to start recognizing them. So yes, absolutely, I'm going to say you're leveling up, but I feel like this is the start is with Miguel. I'm feeling something about the kids too. Nothing bad, don't get me wrong, like there's nothing, nothing bad about that. I just feel it's almost as though you're starting to really this is going to sound silly because of course you connect with your kids, you're their mom, but it's a different kind of connection. It almost feels as though you're connecting with loved ones on a deeper level, maybe possibly than you have in the past. It almost feels like you're getting to that place where you just know what they're going to say before they say it, or maybe saying things at the same time if you're not already doing that. But there is absolutely a leveling up that is happening for you at this time. And I feel like I know you're probably seeing 1111, and that's the one that keeps, it's such the most common one, but I really keep feeling that for some, like when I'm tapping into your energy, it's almost as though I literally see it in front of me. And I don't want to be cliche like that. And how I work. You know that I hate cliche shit, right? But that's my no. But um sorry, I'm just getting rid of somebody here. But it feels like for some reason this number is important, or it's important for you. And remember, I think it's also that reminder of what it is that you're thinking, right? When we see that 1111, it has to do with what are we thinking about. A lot of times we sort of interpret it as, that's the manifestation number, that everything is coming together. And it does mean that, but it also, brings back our attention to what is it that we're focusing in on. And I feel like this is super important because it kind of feels like your brain is in this place of spiritual allowance, but you can get into sometimes the negative thoughts. And this is what Spirit's trying to bring your attention to. Is what are you paying attention to, Naomi? Open up. Okay, stop it. Why are you going down this path? So it's like drawing you back is what I keep getting. So I hope that helps. But it does feel like the messages that you're receiving, if they don't belong to you, it's your job to pass them on to Miguel. However,
Mhm.
Miguel, you cannot close down and just allow Naomi to give you those messages, okay?
Exactly.
Because they're going to get
Exactly.
harsh. Like eventually they're going to get harsh, and you don't
Mhm.
want that. So it's time for you to continue opening up as it is, because Spirit is trying to communicate with the both of you as a couple.
Mhm. Which is really beautiful to see anyways, but
Yeah, absolutely. So up next is Will, and he's asking about Jamie, and both of them are Tauruses. He wants to know how Jamie is feeling about him at this time, and I'm going to let you go into that. And while you're doing that, I'm actually just going to run to the washroom, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to
All
take
right.
myself off here. I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, Will. Good to talk to you, mate. So you and Jamie here. Let's see. Let me pull in your energy. Let me pull in Jamie. I'll see what I'm feeling between the both of you. Okay, so right away, definitely feeling quite a friendly buzz here. I feel um, the base of friends, which I think I know that's true, actually. I do keep feeling a lot of good social environment, social energy. But what's interesting is Spirit is showing me that this energy is starting to really anchor and root in. So I would go so far as to say that lately, maybe over the past few months since we've probably last spoke or connected with this, that there's been a development of things feeling a little bit more solid, a little bit more reliable, a little bit more familiar, comfortable, even where you can start to. I get this feeling of like resting back on one another. And that seems to actually carry a lot of important weight to the statement because being able to put your back, I sense in Jamie this feeling of like not usually being able to trust people incredibly easy. But for whatever reason, and I'm sure she does to a certain degree, but for whatever reason, I keep feeling her trusting you more than I feel she trusts most. And this feeling of like her being able to like turn her back to you. This is not meaning that she's like turning away or trying to pull away or disconnect or not talk to you. It's that she knows you would have her back. And that security is what I keep feeling quite strongly in the energy between the both of you. That feels strong. That feels like a really good impact right now. And with that energy there, what was the original question, Kathy? With Will?
Just how Jamie is feeling, in
Okay,
regards
how
to,
she's
like,
feeling. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I thought.
he just says we haven't spoken for a while.
You haven't spoken. Okay, so that makes sense why the back is then turned. Um, when I tap into her energy, there is this strong feeling in her of like wanting chatter, but I do see when I look at her, there's like this void of like unsure, not being sure, not sure what to say. I feel her feeling as if communication has broken down, but I still feel her having this like sense of trust in you. Oh, okay, okay. Let me ask you this, Will. You didn't do anything to like, you didn't do anything wrong to her, right? Like, you didn't do anything or say anything rude. You didn't ghost her or anything like that. Because it's so interesting. I can feel the energy between the both of you, and it feels quite good. But looking at her feelings, this is where I'm feeling as if something got caught up in her mind where she maybe overthought something, or what spirit is telling me, interjected some sort of traumatic trauma or trigger response in regards to something that was done, which had actually nothing to do with you, Will, but it's something that's going on within her and her feeling like a little bit insecure about something, not sure what to do. Um, and this resulting in that distance. So I would imagine you just feel like kind of blindsided by her distance in some way. Uh, ever since you left the job. Okay, okay, so that's why. So you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. You just moved on, to another job. I'm trying to speak to her, communicate with her. Okay. Um, it's interesting because I can feel her just like hanging on to something that didn't necessarily have anything to do with her. And if she's not communicating to you because you left that job, that would kind of be that reason. Just because you left the job doesn't mean that you don't want to talk to her or be around her, right? But her taking that personal, even though that decision, I mean, did you leave the job because of her? Because I don't feel you left that job. I don't think you made a decision about your work in light of her. Like, it doesn't feel that way to me. But um, if you did, I guess it would make sense why she feels this way. But I'm just feeling that there's like a little bit of an overthought in her about something that it doesn't relate to her, and she's taking it too personal. And it's a shame because the energy between the both of you really feels nice. I feel that friendly vibe. I feel it wanting to like root in. Um, and I feel you two really just wanting to keep exploring that. But with her energy kind of blocking, I left the job, not of her. Yeah. Okay. Just as I thought. So I wouldn't take this personal. This feels like it's kind of on her. As far as what I see coming up in the future here, I do feel like you are going to see a little bit of distance. And then I see a little bit of friction coming because of the distance that happened. So either maybe a little argument or just kind of trying to figure out what exactly happened, why things were so distant. Um, and it's from there. Let me see. I just want to be clear here. It's from there, yeah, things will feel a little bit confused once the argument happens. They might feel a little clouded, but that's where spirit shows me this sort of renewed energy that kind of comes in. I feel like there could probably be like a heart to heart of laying everything out on the table. Um, but just know you didn't do anything wrong. Um, I can tell you that she definitely still thinks of you, but right now she's taking things way too personal, as if she's taking things that are going against her when she has no business doing that. 'Cause you did not do anything against her. It's just she's kind of perceiving it that way and uh, grandizing it a little bit. I wonder what her moon sign is in, because this very much reminds me of Leo kind of energy. And trust me, I say that as a Taurus with a moon in Leo. I grandize a lot. Trust me. So don't worry too much about that. You got burned out and need to move on. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. You did something for yourself. You knew what you needed, but now she's kind of taking it personal. But I would not take it personal that she's taking it personal. You don't want to end up in a personal tornado here.
Will, I gotta ask you a question. If you can answer this. Did you guys stop communicating before or after you broke your leg? I know that's a weird question, but it feels like for some reason there might be an importance there, and that was the first thing I heard, and I just needed to ask that. Because I'm getting an energy here before you broke your leg. Okay. I'm getting here that there is a wall. Okay, I've been writing down, so as I'm going here, there's a little bit of a wall here, but it's almost as though she expected you to be there for her, is what I keep hearing. And I think she understands the concept that you had to leave, that you had to move on, that you were getting burnt out. However, the other thing I'm feeling here is that I feel because of her own past disappointments, she's a little worried or scared or whatever it is, that I feel like people have left her in the past before, like when she's
Hmm.
gotten close to them, or maybe they said, oh yeah, we'll keep in touch, and then it doesn't happen. And so there's this energy here that she's almost in a silly way, um like kind of making you prove yourself. Which is a little silly, because you are trying to communicate, but I feel like I'm also, I wrote down the word reconnection, because I do feel that there's a reconnection coming through here. I for some reason, I don't know why the energy about your leg is coming through. I actually wrote down the word nurse. Like I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with, or I don't know if she was, wanting to put energy towards that, or maybe she felt, either a fear of, having to take care of you, or maybe there was a guilt there that she wasn't. It just kind of feels like she's in this place of, she's scared she's scared of that you guys will keep communicating, and then she's going to end up disappointed, or she's going to end up left in the lurch, is what I keep getting from her. But it does feel like, I would say, don't stop, because if you stop trying, and I don't mean obsessively texting her or anything like that, like obviously that, um but it does feel like this energy of, let's say you just decided, okay, whatever, it almost, she can use that as an excuse of, see, I knew he would leave anyway. I just knew it.
Hmm.
I knew that, I knew people wouldn't be around for me. I knew that it kind of feels like this is a lot of past energy that's coming in from her, that she's projecting onto you. I really get that energy. Again, I don't know what you breaking your leg has to do with anything, but I do feel, she might even feel guilty at the fact that she's kind of, you know, being a schmuck when you're injured. Like that even could have to, stop, or to have to do with it. Like a little bit of, guilt that's going on there, and she doesn't really know how to address it. It's interesting, because when I originally picked up on her energy months ago, she did feel more mature. And I do feel that there are elements of her that are have a maturity to her. I really do feel that. Like once this woman, gets into a relationship, or if you guys get into a relationship or whatever is happening here, I feel like, this is a good combination with the two of you. Like, I really feel a strong energy between the two where you guys can really work things out and you guys can get past any of those bumps or hills or any of that, because I do feel an opening with the communication. But it does feel like for some reason there was this energy there that, it's almost like I was scared of losing him. I don't know what to say. I don't know if she's couldn't consciously actually say that, or even if she really knows what's going on. Yeah, see, and you were thinking of letting her go and moving on. I would actually not do that. Again, I wouldn't obsessively text her or anything like that. But I would say, going in, if you go into the restaurant, just say hi to her. Hey, how's it going? You have time for a coffee. I would actually even just ask her out for a coffee, say, hey, you want to meet up, have a coffee, something like that. And see where that goes, because I kind of feel like I still get reconnection here. I still feel a reconnection. Again, it might, even if she says, no, I can't, or whatever, say, okay, hey, why don't you just tell me what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
I
think it'll
honestly,
be a heart to heart at
I
some
really
point.
do feel like there might need to be some bluntness going on here, like from your side, and just say, what's going on? Like we were close, or we were good friends, whatever it is. Did I do something? Like ask her very directly, but not in a desperate type of way. I would just make it very blunt. Like, is everything
Yeah.
okay? Like,
What's
what's going on
happening?
here?
Why are
What's
you being
happening?
this way?
What's happening here? Yeah. Because it,
Mm-hmm.
it it does feel like there's a fear here from her
Mm-hmm. That
in
has nothing
regards
to do with
to,
you.
right, like this is a past energy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Picking
I
up on
I
the
would,
same thing.
yeah, I would definitely you know again, maybe ask her out for a coffee or something, or get together or supper or whatever you can do. um but and if she denies it or says no, I can't, or whatever, just is kind of rude or whatever, just say, what's going on here, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know and retaliate, like give that reiteration of your relationship, like we were close with, hey, I thought we were good friends, like you seem very distant, what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I that because I still get reconnection. I still get a reconnection happening. So,
Yep.
you
Same.
know, yeah, I hope that helps. Please let us know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that mature energy with her originally, and I still feel it once she gets to this place of security. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, the insecurity is taking over the maturity. I guess that's the best way to say it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we did get a donation from Love Tea, so we'll do Love Tea. I know that Presh was next. If Presh is here, could you just say that you're here? And if not, then we're gonna do blue butterfly, and then we will leave it at that for the night, okay? Because we can't take any more tonight. So if Presh is here, could you just let us know? And if but we are going to move on to Love Tea right now. So Love Tea, may I know where ours head is at about me? He's a Capricorn, I'm an Aries.
I love tea. Good to see you, love. All right, let me connect here with you and R. There's you. Okay, there's R. Thank you. Okay, right away, the very first thing I'm feeling, just in the energy between you both, I'm feeling like weirdly there is a, I don't know if you would even say this, but I am feeling internally a sort of optimistic spirit about you, Love T. Um, I am really feeling you stepping into a sense of abundance in yourself. I don't know where this has come from. I don't know what's going on. So if you're experiencing anything less than that, I just have to say that that is first your own doing because there is just energy of abundance flowing to you. Um, and it seems like when I'm connected with the both of you, there's a recognition of this in some way. Like I can even see it from R. Now, let me tap into R here and where he is with his thoughts about you, just to be clear on this other point, real quick. Okay. So I'm feeling a little bit of detachment and distance. And so that kind of confirms what I was feeling here of like him, of our being either jealous or upset that there's just like some sort of perceived abundance towards you. Um, or like you getting a lot of attention okay, he said happy birthday. Okay, well that's nice. That's honestly more than I thought he would have with this energy that I feel from him. Because it looks like there's a little bit of there's jealousy or there's doubt in his mind. I can feel him thinking about this. Um, that he's like not on your level or that you could do better or something along the line. There's definitely jealousy here. And so I know that all of this is coming from ego. This is definitely coming from ego from him. And I love that little glimpse of him saying happy birthday because that was that little glimpse of that vulnerability of him just getting out of his own way and not being so self-focused and considering you. It was like that little wall came down and then went right back up and there's still this distance, there's still this like clouded idea. Let me tap into like his desires and his intentions, just to get a better clearer picture of like what he's really wanting here. Like what the hell are you doing, what are you going after, what's your game, what's going on. uh Gosh, he feels honestly so dramatic. It feels so dramatic connecting to him because when I connect with what he wants, I just keep hearing like, just let it all crumble to the ground. But I do feel, even amidst that little kind of a little bit of sad, defeated energy, there is an intelligent awareness of like, okay, things can be rebuilt. And I feel like a lot of this is coming from him where maybe something happened between the two of you where you just got super distant or things have been quiet, no progress was made. And then maybe you just allowed yourself to be distant because you saw him being distant, even though he didn't mean to be distant because he was allowing himself to stay busy. And then is coming to terms with the fact that he is understanding that your perception of him is valid just because that's not what he intended, but it doesn't mean that doesn't change how you felt. And now he's coming to terms with it. And so he's like, oh God, I'm a bad person. Oh, I can't believe this. Because all I say this to say, there is a feeling of him taking on a self transformation. So, yes, I do feel him being like distant, a little bit confused, a little bit weird, and a little bit defeated, but I do feel this new vigor coming up in him of like, okay, I need to transform. I need to change this. This is ridiculous. I'm being silly. I'm being dumb. Only I can change this. Only I can make this better. Um, so I do feel that renewed spirit. So again, just to recap, definitely feeling a lot of good energy in your self-love, T. Feeling him perceive this good energy as a diss on himself, being jealous or unsure about it. Now he's coming to terms and taking responsibility with his lack of action. Feel a little bit of woe is me in him, but I do feel him trying to turn that within and to change that, to transform that energy. So interesting place, I think, for him. And honestly, I don't feel it negatively affecting your energy. I'm sure, just exactly, why you're here. You have question about it, you're not sure, but I don't feel it holding you back. And that is the right approach. Keep on your path. Definitely keep on. He needs to catch up to you, not the other way around. You don't got to pull yourself back to him.
So this is really interesting, okay? Because you had said the word coming to terms. So as you were talking, I'm writing shit down. And I literally wrote coming to terms. Okay.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, and so these are this is what I kept getting as I was tapping in to this energy. I kept feeling, like first of all, love to you, happy birthday to you. And I do feel that happy birthday from him was him peeking in. Is she still talking to me? Do I still exist in her realm? Am I still around? Like, what is her like? It feels like, him kind of peeking around the corner, I
A
guess, in
little
a way.
check-in.
Yeah, a
Hmm.
little check in. Um, and then we have decisions, decisions, decisions. And this is what I kept writing: decisions, decisions, decisions. It's like he's in this place of decisions. What do I do? What do I do? Want to know why? Because he can't imagine anyone but you being in his life. And that's 100% what I got immediately. It was almost like I can't imagine my life. Like when he's looking into the future. I mean, it doesn't mean that he can't move on, but right now he's in this place where he's making decisions. Like I feel like he can't imagine where he is without you, and it feels like he's coming to terms with this, and it's scaring him.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is the energy that keeps coming through. So I feel like
Ah, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. He I'm telling you, he didn't even think if that was wrong or not, because I feel him just literally getting quite busy. And it's just that for you, it's like the fact of like, "Oh, cool, so you just forgot about me? Cool, out of
right.
here. I'm not gonna respond to you." But I can
Yeah.
feel him in this process of like, "Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that." And now he's coming to terms with it. Like, that's where I was hearing that so strong, and now Kathy obviously is too. It's like that energy is strong in him, it's clear.
I mean, it wouldn't even be a bad thing to just go thanks, but honestly, I kind of feel to just leave it, because this,
Yeah.
as we said before, in the past, this is all on him. You know what
Mhm.
you want out of this relationship. You know where you want this to go. Now it's time for him to step up and to come in. When exactly was your birthday, Lofty? Um, like, or how long ago was this that he sent this? Because I do feel there's a lot of anxiety around the fact that you didn't respond. I do feel that. Um,
Mhm.
but it's sort of in this April 10th. Okay. Um,
That's just a few days ago. Happy birthday, love.
mhm. He may come back with this. He may come back again with something a little stronger. Why do I keep hearing? Okay, Love T, I want you to write this date down. I can't guarantee anything. Okay. I'm not saying this as a guarantee, but I want you to write down the 17th, because that I heard this number in my head and I don't know why. Um, again, I can't guarantee that it's going to happen. Please don't get mad at me if it doesn't, but I I keep hearing the 17th. Okay. So maybe, when is that? Like, it'll be close to next Wednesday, so you can kind of let us know if that happened.
Mhm.
When is the 17th anyway?
I think it's
Um,
Monday? No,
yeah,
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, so
Sunday.
I mean, who knows? He might even come through with a happy Easter or something like that. But I want you to write down the 17th, because I keep hearing that again. I can't guarantee anything, but this is the energy that he's sending through. So again, don't blast me if nothing happens on the 17th. But I feel like he wants to reconnect again. Like there may be this energy where he comes through again, because I keep getting decisions, decisions, decisions. Like he's got to make his decisions. And it doesn't mean that you're a decision. I want to clear that up. It's like a decision, like I feel like the connection between the two of you is very strong, and he's got to internally make a decision as to whether that's something that he can follow. Like, is he mature enough at this point, to go towards that strong energy that he's feeling between the two of you? And I do feel that he wants to. again, I heard literally, can't imagine anyone but you at this point. Like, this is where he sort of is. And, when he's looking long term, he sees you in there. I think I might have told you that before at some point. I don't know if I did or not. It kind of feels like something I may have said to you before. But yeah. So I'm going to leave that there because I still feel a very strong energy between the two of, between the two of you here, as did Brandon, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, let
I
us
like,
know, Love T. Let us know if he approaches you. But again, this is on him. He needs to figure it out. If he wants to show you that he's in it, he will find a way. He will show you.
absolutely.
You did.
I
You
did say it to her.
you've
Okay.
given him. Yeah. And you
Yeah,
have given him many chances. Absolutely. That's why you don't need to do anything. Again, this is all
that's
on him.
exactly it. Like it's his time now, but
Hmm.
here's the thing, don't stop your life, right? Like, go on dates if you feel inclined to do so.
Hmm.
I really, I almost feel like, I mean, unless somebody asks you out tomorrow, I almost feel like he may come back before, you get to that point of, okay, I'm ready to date, stuff like
I
that.
think so too. Because I can feel her frustration when he comes back. I can feel her
Right.
getting, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
I can feel
But,
that.
don't stop your life, obviously, because of it,
No.
what he's
No,
doing.
you have
But
such great energy right now. Don't you have nothing to stop.
yeah,
Not at all.
100%. Hey, Austin, thanks for joining. We are not doing any more readings tonight except for one more. We have one more to do. But please, click subscribe. Please, we're
Yeah,
happy to have you
Terry.
here. Yeah.
Terry, I think he's on I Wanna Believe. So if y'all are listening, you're on
Oh, okay.
Facebook, if you're on I Wanna Believe,
Yeah,
please
we
pop over to
can't see.
Oracle Intuitions and subscribe there if you do want a reading. You're glad to watch on the other channels, but if you want a reading, you got to pop over to Oracle Intuitions and hit that subscribe button.
And
That will get you the reading.
right, and we'll be back next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So if you're subscribed, you will get the notification, right? So, and then you'll be able to see when we're doing the readings, and we'd love to have you here. But please, again, please make sure that you click subscribe. Hey guys, click like, because clicking like on the channel or on this video actually helps boost it in the algorithm as well. So if you're watching, click the like button, please. All right. Blue butterfly. So thank you, first of all, so much for being patient. She was one of the first watchers today, and we truly
Aw.
appreciate you coming in. So, and watching, and thank you so much again. So blue butterflies, her first name is Chloe. His name is Isaac. He is a Taurus. She is a Virgo. And her question was, how is he feel? So they just found out they're actually having triplet boys. And
Whew.
he wants to know what he's feeling towards this. I think I said that right. Please
So
correct me, Chloe, if I got that wrong.
Chloe is Virgo, Isaac is Taurus.
No, he's a Scorpio. Did I say
Oh,
Taurus? I meant a Scorpio.
Isaac is Scorpio.
Hmm.
She's Virgo.
Right.
Okay, okay, gotcha. And she wants to know what? Say again?
Um, his thoughts and intentions in regards to her, but also how he's feeling about the babies and
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
having triplets, right? That's Congratulations. Wow, you're braver than I am. But good for you. But this is going to be beautiful. I feel beautiful energy there. So, okay.
All right, Chloe. So right away, just connecting with the energy between the two of you, it feels exactly like the reason you are asking this question. It feels like what's happening between the two of you is really dependent on Isaac. I do feel a sense of confusion. I can literally almost see like a cloud over his face, over his eyes. But even despite all of that, there is this sort of beacon. So being able to see a little bit through the clouds, he sees this like little sparkle on the other side. And it's like representing a ring, which is representing the relationship between the both of you. So even through the haze, he does see and hold value with your connection. So that's kind of clear right away in the energy between you. But let me tap specifically into him and his thoughts and his feelings about you. And I'll also look at how he feels, about um, the kids coming up as well. So I do feel right away there's a bit of unknown. There's a little bit of mystery. I do feel an energy of Isaac sort of holding back, holding himself back. But what's interesting is I don't feel like he's holding back anything negative per se. I don't feel him having a negative opinion or situation. I am feeling him holding back being excited. And I don't know if it's something that somebody told him. I don't know how far along you are because I just keep hearing like, oh, there's a risk, there's high risk, high risk. And I feel him thinking about this a lot. And so I feel him not wanting to show excitement because of when he loses something that he cares about, it is not easy for him. Like I feel him taking those moments really, really hard. Like he takes loss quite hard. In fact, Spirit is showing me a certain example where he like lost something and just disappeared or like went off the deep end years ago. I don't know if you had known him during that time or what, but they just showed me that this has happened before, and it was like it was almost as if something was just like ripped out of his chest the way that he felt it. So with him holding back an energy of excitement right now, it feels subdued for a specific reason. I would not take that personal. This just feels cautious. It feels safe. Um, it feels like it's just a need to protect. Let me look at how he's looking as far as the kids. I do feel it's interesting. I feel him quite enamored with a vision of like home. Um, and there has to be it's like he feels a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. There is a spiritual component to all of this as well with him. I don't know if I'm not, I cannot tell if he is a spiritual person in himself, but I can tell you that there is a consciousness of it. There is an awareness of it. I'm not sure if he like I'm not really picking up that he like has some sort of ritualistic practice every day. This is how he is. I do feel a sense of faith, but I don't feel a practice of it. But I feel him contemplating this with the kids. It's like, oh my gosh, a connection with something bigger than myself. And I see him like having and being enamored with this idea of home and building home. Um, and him just really that's like that's the church for him, if that makes sense. That's the place that needs to be sacred. Um, that's what has to be protected. And so I do feel quite a strong protection. Oh my gosh, I can feel this like, oh, this well of emotion. There's tears, there's love that is like all coming up. There's like this crazy purge happening because there is excitement and happiness and gratitude and love pouring from him. But there are also years of other emotions that were buried on top of it. So as this love is coming up, all this other crap is coming up that he's buried. So it's like a purge of so many different emotions at once. That's all private. And that's what I feel like he probably doesn't want to show you or make you deal with. Um, but it just feels like he's got to go through all that just to get to the nuggets, the good stuff, right? You got to dig through the dirt to get to the gold, plain and simple. And I feel him trying to do this on his own, which feels pretty good in my opinion. So I do feel, I'll just ask one last thing and let Kathy connect here. Okay, just as I had thought, it does feel like there's going to be um, a little bit of a roller coaster. You'll see some growth, maybe some movement, advance in the right direction, maybe a little bit of distance again. And I feel that gap kind of closing where that doesn't happen as much anymore, where he just kind of pulls away again. Um, it's like it's kind of getting out of his system. It's like a child first learning to walk. They fall and then they start falling less and they fall less and less and less and then they're walking. So it's that kind of analogy that's happening within my mind that Spirit is showing me, that it does take time, but he is kind of integrating all of these emotions at once, and there's no way for them to not come out. And for whatever reason, I feel him just not wanting you to see that. I feel him like he didn't want you to see that part. And honestly, that's probably good because I don't feel that you were the contributor to all those other emotions that were buried on top of all the genuine feelings I feel in the heart here. So Um, oh yeah, going through that phase now. Oh, he told you that gives him more love and purpose. Perfect. Perfect. Doesn't express himself. Okay, sorry, I just kept catching up on the messages here. Good confirmations, thank you.
All right. So, as Brandon was talking, I was writing some things down. First energy I actually felt originally was he's scared shitless. Like that kind of came through really quick. All right. He is worried about money. How it's not, I don't feel there's a panic in regards to the finances. It just feels like a normal, like anybody having a baby type of energy. I hope that that makes sense, but I don't feel a panic. I don't feel, um, like, it's a normal worry. Okay, is what I keep getting in regards to that. I don't feel like he's in a place of, um, fear or anything like that. It's a concern in the back of the mind because it kind of went from, possibly, one university degree to three, kind of like everything just tripled. And that's that possible fear that, oh, he's getting his finances down pat now. Okay, perfect. All right. Yeah, because I mean, it felt like, you know, um, this was, there is an internal fear with him, and it's very much similar to what, Brandon had talked about, just the little things that he may not be saying, like worried about your health, worried about the babies, the things like, okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Chloe, what I feel is he's stepping up to be a man. That's what I kept getting. He's stepping up now to be a man. He may have been a little bit, things may have been a little bit back and forth, but I feel like this phase that he is in right now is bringing him into this place where he knows he's going to stand up like this. I keep getting here. He's asking himself, there's, and some of the internal fears are like, can he be the man that you need? Okay. But he's ready for the long haul. That's what I heard right away. Blessed love, stand up man. He wants to participate, in this. Like, I feel like, he's a little concerned. Am I going to be able to, this 3 babies is a lot, right? And so, is he going to be able to participate as much as you need? Or is there something about, like, is one of your parents coming around? I kept getting, maybe perhaps this could be, his mom, somebody like, I don't know, something like from his side. I'm not sure. But it kind of feels like, there might be somebody coming in, maybe possibly to help out in some way. But for whatever reason, I kept hearing something about his mom, and I don't know if even she's still alive, but I just kept hearing something about his mom. And I'm not exactly sure what that is, so you may have to confirm that for me. I actually got a visual image of him holding your tummy, like, and like a very, like, again, and like a blessed union, like we were blessed with these babies, and this was the image that's coming through. So even though getting a nanny or a maid or help to help, yeah, you know what, you may need something like that. Like, honestly, at the very least, just to get some sleep, right? Just to get some sleep for the first little while. Um, but um, I feel like there's already a lot of love between him and these children, is what I keep getting. Like, he's very proud. Like, I feel a very proud energy from him. I feel a very proud energy towards you. Again, he does have the fear about your health. Will you be okay? Does he send me his sexual? Well, of course he does. But I feel like it's not even so much like sexual energy. It's more like a love energy. Is what I keep, getting. Um, uh I keep getting here that we both love our triplet boys already. Yeah, absolutely. I just feel I just feel like things are going to I just keep feeling like this energy of a turning point, like there's a turning point coming, in a positive way. It's almost like you'll see him almost, it almost has that energy of going from a boy to a man, even if he's not a boy. Like, I hope that that makes sense. Like, it's almost like he's manning up, like he's ready for the long haul. He's ready to stand up. He's ready to come in. And this is what I feel. I don't feel you have anything to worry about. To be honest, I really don't. I feel like this could be a very good duo between the two of you in regards to the children, right? Especially, or building that family. So I hope that that helps.
My
Um,
goodness, what a journey.
yeah, I feel like this is the start of your life. And, I can actually, I don't tap into, at this point, I don't really have time for that, but you can come back next week and we could take a look into that for sure. For
Or you
sure.
can always book a private session. If you want to do so
Mhm.
with me, you can visit me at thedreamteacher.com.
Or if you like, you can book a session with me at oracleintuitions.com. And you can book right through my page there as well. We do have a really quick question here from Cindy. She just wants to see where, and because Cindy's been kind of hanging on for the whole show, I just, I said, okay. But she's basically just asking about her and Brandon and will they get back together? How long does he need for space, and is he coming back to the relationship with a clearer mind?
Do you know their sun signs or
um I can't remember. God, if you could put those down for Cindy really quick, please.
it's Cindy and Brandon?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mr. Brandon.
Leo and Cancer. Which is which? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, let me
Do you want
connect
me to go
here.
first,
And
or do you want to go first?
say, you can, but if you could just repeat the question either way while I connect with the energy.
Sure. I just wanted to say you're so welcome, Chloe Blue Butterfly. Thank you so much for joining the show today. And, again, join us next week. Maybe we can, take a look into some messages, stuff like that. She says, how long does B need for space? How long
Okay.
does Brandon need space for? And is he coming back to the relationship with a clearer mind?
Well, I definitely feel that tension right away. Um, it does feel like it has been exacerbated. I do feel it is because of emotions that it has made that tension even more intense. And then the emotions made it more intense, like more tension itself. And it's like kind of hit this cycle. I think that both of you saw it and recognized it. Maybe you have a stronger ability to hold on to intense movement like that, Cindy. And that's why I feel Brandon having this need for space. Let me look at him and kind of where he's at with this whole process, where he is with his thoughts and feelings towards you, because I think that's important. Okay, it looks like there is a bit of a breakdown that's happened in him, which actually feels quite good. I am feeling a lot of shedding. I'm feeling a lot of removal or debris that's kind of being taken away. Because I feel like he's kind of the more uh, emotionally affected one, whether he shows it or not. I can definitely feel him being affected. And of course, I think everybody knows cancers to be quite moody. And so that's often, an emotion that just seems unwarranted to outside action. The reaction didn't seem warranted to the action. Um, I do feel a lot of that mood being shed, and I am feeling him getting into a secure space, which is allowing him to feel more comfortable in connection with you. And he either thinks of you or however. Um, there is a sense of things being more comfortable. Let me just real quick look at his intentions towards you, and that'll give me a good picture of where he's trying to go right now. Okay, so I do feel like, yes, the intentions, the desire has been a little bit unclear. But what Spirit is showing me is that he does want to talk. So I do feel talking coming soon, but you can't initiate that. It has to be Brandon that does that. Brandon's the one that has to come forward. And it's not, it has nothing to do with you or really anything that was done wrong or needing space. It just, it has to be of his comfort level, because if you were to approach him or initiate him right now, it's just going to go back into defense mode, close off, put the walls up, etc. But when it comes from him, that's when he is able to be vulnerable. And that's what you both need right now. You need him to be vulnerable. Because I feel you, Cindy, are good with being vulnerable. I feel you good with, you can express a feeling, you can just, fall apart with tears, but then pick yourself right back up and be like a strong inspiration to everybody else around you and yourself included. So it feels like waiting for him to initiate, it just generates all that right energy between the both of you. And as far as what I see coming up in the future, I do see this kind of like heart to heart moments. There seems to be spiritual realizations, we call it like our coming to Jesus moments, where it just feels like you really get to the depths, the purpose of the matter, the heart of the matter. And that's kind of the energy that rides back in when you do reconnect. So just let him initiate, let him go through this process. He is shedding, he is letting go of things that are not working anymore. He's letting go of these moods, and he is finding himself in a more secure place, and in turn is feeling more secure about things with you. So let that process unfold as it needs to.
Yeah.
Anything else you pick up, Kathy?
Yeah. I'm just answering just really quickly. Cincy Skater 421. She's asking, do loved ones that pass from overdose, do they come through a suicide? I'm just gonna very quickly respond to that. No, they just, you know what, if it's not intentional, it's not considered suicide. Like they're just passed. Okay. Like that's just how they come through. So Cindy, I agree with it. Absolutely everything Brandon has said. I still hold true to my original reading with you. I don't feel anything. It's going to be super important that you change your energy though. Stop worrying about this. Stop panicking about this. You have to take a step back. This is going to be super important. At the beginning of the show, we actually did talk about some grounding techniques. We did talk about, ways to help your energy. There's 1,000, a million, one YouTube videos on meditation and just, changing your mindset, the law of attraction, grounding, all of that. Just find, some that work really well for you. I do feel he will be coming back. Because, but again, it's going to be super important. Like even your energy now is like, is he calm, because that's going to push him away or make it longer. Right. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean he'll break up, but it's going to make it longer, because if I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling that energy, he's most definitely feeling that energy, and it's anxious, it's tension, and it's not an energy that draws people in. It's an energy that puts a wall up. And so you have to be, stronger within yourself. Just take that step back, focus on you for a while, do your work, do whatever it is that brings you that sense of happiness. But you will find, that as you're doing that, and as long as your energy changes, things will progress, things will move forward. This isn't going to be very long. Like I predicted before, probably a couple of weeks. I felt it was a very temporary energy of that separation, but it's going to depend on you and the energy that you're sending out. You can make this longer by staying in that energy, or by that erratic type of anxiety that's coming through, right? And we all get that when we're in a place of unsureness. Like everybody receives that, right? But it's going to be important to just sort of like this and know that he, what he said to you, about that he does love you. He does, all of these things, no matter how he's coming off with that, he does care about you and love you very much. And I do feel he wants this reconnection with the energy, like reconnection, bringing this relationship closer, not reconnection like because of a breakup. I mean, reconnection with the energy that the two of you had. I just feel he does have some, things that he's got to, take a look at with himself and all of this stuff. And I feel like this will get stronger and better. Okay. But you're going to have to relax. So, guys,
Mhm.
I hope that it helped. Like that. Okay. I'm
Gotta do
tired
that
now.
energy thing.
Which I know, right? I gotta um so thanks everybody for watching. Remember, if you do want to contact Brandon, contact him at thedreamteacher.com. And if you guys want to have a personal reading with me, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, notifications. Also, all of the weekly readings for each sign are up on the channel. Make sure you watch those. Those will really give you some really good guidance. And if you happen to know your other placements, right, not just your sun sign, watch the rest of the videos too, because when you piece it all together, you kind of go, oh, I get what's going on now. Okay. This is what's happening. And it's funny because when I do the weekly readings, it's funny because as I'm doing them, I get a lot of messages that are coming through as I'm doing the weekly readings. And I'll say something, and I literally will pull the card that corresponds with exactly what it is that I'm saying. And I get messages from people all the time saying, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm going through right now. Or this is exactly what whatever it is. And so they're usually very, very accurate. So make sure that you guys watch them. And again, click like or whatever. Truly appreciate it. Hi, Mel. And she says, greetings, Kathy and Brandon. First time to this channel. You know what? We would love to give you some energy, some guidance on this, because she's wondering about guidance for the growth of soul and spirit. Please, please, please join us next week. We welcome you to the channel. It's just been a long night. So we're going to be here next Wednesday at 6:00. Make sure that you have the notification bell clicked, and you'll get the notification of when we come back on. And we would love to be able to answer those questions for you. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Have an amazing week and
Bye,
take care.
everybody.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.